Hello. Hujambo Dan. Karibuni nyote katika Swahili Kingdom. Welcome all to Swahili Kingdom. Dan, unauliza sharti nifanye nini? Unataka kufanya nini? Unataka kufanya nini? Leo tunaongea kuhusu the interrogative suffix P. Interrogative suffix P. Kwa nini inaitwa suffix? Why is it called a suffix? Kwa sababu ni kitu ambacho tunatumia mwisho wa neno, si sentensi tu. Kitu ambacho tunatumia mwisho wa neno. Dan, unataka kufanya nini? Kwa sababu unauliza sharti ufanye nini. Ungependa kujiunga ili tuulizane maswali ama uko sawa? Nangojea jibu lako Dan. Unataka kufanya nini? Ndiyo, ningependa kujiunga. Ungependa kujiunga, sawa. Acha ni kuongeze hapa. Sijui na kuongezaje. Hello. Mwenye amejiunga nasi karibu sana. Welcome so much. Leo hii natumia Kiswahili kwa sababu najua hili si somo la watu ambao wanaanza kujifunza Kiswahili. This is not a beginner lesson. Sasa unafaa kujizoesha Kiswahili. Dan, nipatie dakika moja na kuongeza hapa. Nadhani nafaa kushare link alafu kuje. Sawa, naweka link hapo chini. Ndio hiyo hapo. Sasa nitaongea kwa Kiswahili leo mara nyingi. Sisemi eti sitaongea Kiingereza. Nitaongea Kiswahili kwa sababu najua somo letu la leo acha niseme beginners ama watu ambao wameanza kujifunza Kiswahili. Somo letu la leo ni la watu ambao wanajua Kiswahili. Sijasema eti mnajua Kiswahili kabisa, lakini mnajua Kiswahili na mnataka kuongezea maarifa yenu katika Kiswahili, hasa katika hii somo letu la leo ambalo tunasoma kuhusu interrogative suffix P. Interrogative suffix P. Dan, nimetuma link hapo. Unaweza bonyeza hiyo link, alafu hilo ombi litakuja kwangu, alafu nitaitikia ukuje ujiunge nami, tuulizane maswali, sio? Kwa sababu najua maswali ambayo uko nayo, pengine kuna mwanafunzi mwingine pia ako na maswali kama hayo. Wacha tuanze somo letu tukimngojea Dan. So somo letu la leo ni kuhusu interrogative P. Interrogative P. Interrogative P, watu huniuliza mara nyingi, wanafunzi ambao nawasaidia kusoma Kiswahili, wao huniuliza mara nyingi, kwa nini saa zingine kuna P mara nyingi katika viulizi vya Kiswahili? Kwa mfano, kuna wapi, kipi, lipi. Hawajui hiyo ni nini na wanataka kujua hiyo ina maana gani. Wao huniuliza kwa nini kuna vitu kama hivyo. Kwa mfano, tunaweza kuwa tunasoma mazungumzo fulani ama tunasoma hadithi fulani. Kama naongea haraka haraka, tafadhali niambie ili nipunguze kidogo mwendo wangu wa kuongea. Karibu sana Dan, na kuona. Karibu.
Asante.
Kama naongea haraka, ni somo letu limepotea hapa, sijui liko wapi. Limepotea. Kama naongea haraka, ningependa mniambie ili nipunguze mwendo wangu wa kuongea, lakini kama mnavyojua na hata wanafunzi ambao nimefunza au nimewasaidia kusoma, kuwasaidia kusoma, kwa sababu pia mimi najifunza vitu vingine kutoka kwao. mimi huwa siongei kwa mtu ambaye anajifunza Kiswahili huwa siongei polepole, acha tuseme hivyo, kwa mtu ambaye anajifunza Kiswahili, kwa sababu swali langu huwa, kwa nini unajifunza Kiswahili? Unajifunza Kiswahili ili uweze kuongea na Waswahili, na Waswahili hawatakuongelesha kwa mwendo wa haraka haraka kwa sababu unajifunza. Sasa unahitaji kusikiliza matamshi ya haraka haraka ili uweze kuzoesha masikio yako kusikiliza Kiswahili ambacho Waswahili wanazungumza. Mswahili atakuja kuambie kwa nini unataka kufanya, hata kuambia hivyo. Atakuuliza kwa nini unataka kufanya hivi. Atakuongelesha tu haraka haraka. Lakini kama unataka nipunguze mwendo wangu kidogo, nitapunguza bila shaka. Nitapunguza. Michelle, ambia Lola niko kwa live. Sasa leo hacha turudi katika interrogative. Interrogative P ama suffix, naita suffix kwa sababu hiyo huwa mwisho, hutumika kuuliza maswali. Kando na vitu vyetu ambavyo tunavyo, the 5 Swahili question words, nini, lini, kwa nini, wapi. Kando na hivyo vitu vitano, tuna vitu vingine pia ambavyo vinauliza maswali. Na baada ya hii live, nitawapatia PDF ya hili somo ambayo mnaweza enda muangalie baadaye. Na nadhani na kazi ya ziada ambayo mnaweza fanya. Haina kazi ya ziada. Lakini nitawapatia muangalie baada ya somo muweze kuona kama mtaelewa kitu. Sasa, interrogative suffix P katika Kiswahili hutumia ngeli. Kama kawaida, mimi huambia watu ambao nawasaidia kujifunza Kiswahili, watu ambao huwa nawasaidia kujifunza Kiswahili, mimi huambia ngeli katika Kiswahili ni kitu cha maana sana. Ngeli ni kitu cha maana sana. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu ngeli ndio ukingo, ndio chini. Ukishika ngeli katika Kiswahili, unaweza kuelewa vitu kwa haraka sana. Lakini tatizo ambalo liko hapo, si rahisi kushika ngeli katika Kiswahili. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu ngeli zina mchanganyo sana, zinachanganya mtu. Unahitaji kujiingiza katika hayo mazingira ya Kiswahili, kusoma, kusikiliza, ndio ukuje ujue, kumbe ngeli huwa hivi. Sawa, kwa sababu hata sisi, watu ambao tumezoea kuongea Kiswahili, saa zingine, ngeli zetu si sawa. Ndio maana ngeli si kitu rahisi, lakini ukijua ngeli, ushajua Kiswahili. Sawa. Sasa hii interrogative suffix P huwa inawekwa kulingana na ngeli. Kwa mfano, ngeli ya awa inatumia kitu kama yupi. Ngeli ya kivi inatumia kipi. Hauwezi kuwa unaongea kuhusu kitu cha ngeli ya kivi, kwa mfano kikombe. Hauwezi kuwa unasema kikombe yupi. Hauwezi sema hivyo kwa sababu haingiani. Kitu kingine mimi huambia watu, katika Kiswahili si lazima ushike grammar. Si lazima ushike ama uelewe ama uko unasoma kila siku. Kitu ambacho inafaa ufanye, jizoeshe, sikiliza Kiswahili, soma Kiswahili, alafu hivyo vitu vitakuja tu vyenyewe. Kwa mfano, ukienda kusoma kitu, ngeli itakujia yenyewe. Utakuwa unajua, hauwezi sema mtu kipi, lazima useme mtu yupi. Kuna watu ambao siku hizi wameanza, kwa sababu ya kujizoesha Kiswahili, wanaweza kukuambia hapana, hiyo si sawa. Na ni mwanafunzi, lakini anakuambia hiyo si sawa, inafaa ikuwe hivi. Ni mwanafunzi, hajui ngeli hata kidogo. Lakini kuna kitu ambacho kinaitwa rhythm. Sasa anajua, amesikiliza Kiswahili, amesoma Kiswahili, anajua hiki kitu kikiwa hivi si sawa na ikiwa hivi ni sawa, lakini hajui ngeli hata kidogo. Sasa ndio maana huwa naambia wanafunzi wenzangu ama watu ambao wanasoma Kiswahili na nimeweza kuwasaidia, usijiweke sana katika inaitwaje grammar, kwa sababu Grammar ni nzuri, sijasema grammar ni mbaya, ila grammar itakupotosha. Kwa mfano, kama unataka kuongea na mtu kwa Kiswahili, hata kuongelesha alafu wewe uanze kufikiria amesema nini, nafaa kumjibu nini, nafaa kutumia ngeli gani. Hautafanya hivyo kwa sababu itahitajika umjibu mara moja. Na sasa hapo utahitaji kuwa na rhythm, na hiyo inatokana na kusikiliza na kusoma Kiswahili. Kusikiliza na kusoma Kiswahili. Unanielewa Dan?
Sehemu. Sielewi zote, lakini ninaelewa parts.
Umeelewa vitu vichache.
Vitu vichache, ndio.
Sawa sawa. Sasa ngeli ya awa, suffix, interrogative suffix p hutumia yupi au wepi na wapi. Wepi hutumika sana Tanzania. Wepi is used so much in Tanzania. So, most of the time if you see in Swahili, I have written an apostrophe, not an apostrophe, a slash, meaning there are two ways of saying something. That means one thing is used in Kenya mostly and the other one is used in Tanzania. It doesn't mean that the Swahili is different in Kenya and Tanzania. It only means that because of the regions, regional Swahili, because of the regions, sometimes we pronounce things differently. Sometimes we understand things differently. But the Swahili is the same. So, for example, someone can come and say, watu wepi wamefika? Which people have arrived? Watu wepi? Or mtu yupi? Mtu yupi? Watu wepi? Or watu wapi? Okay? Hauwezi kuja na uanze kusema, you cannot come and start saying mtu kipi. That one it doesn't rhyme at all, because mtu is in the our noun class and kipi is in the kivi noun class for kitu. Okay? And then when you go to the kivi noun class, actually when you want to form them simply, for example, the kivi noun class, you just take the ki and you add p, kipi. Kiti kipi kimevunjika? Which chair is broken? Kiti kipi kimevunjika? Then we go viti vipi vimevunjika. So you see, we just take ki plus v and we take ki plus p, and v plus p. Kiti kipi, viti vipi. Okay? Then when you go to the mi noun class, ngeli ambayo huitwa ngeli ya miti or ngeli ya mti, a noun class that is called the noun class of trees. Why? Because it consists a lot of trees inside there, but it doesn't mean that it only has trees. Mfano wangu hapa ni mguu. Mguu is a leg, it's not a tree. So why is this noun class named ngeli ya miti and not ngeli ya viungo vya mwili? Because mguu is a part of the body, kiungo cha mwili or viungo vya mwili. Why is it named ngeli ya mti? It is because most of its nouns are trees, fruits, most of its nouns. But it also has nouns from other noun classes. Like, noun class doesn't mean that it holds one thing together. For example, kivi can have nouns that are starting with ki in singular and ki in plural, but awa can also have nouns starting with ki, but they are not in the kivi noun class. So why is that? It is because noun classes have many factors. If you don't know a certain noun class here, you can comment down below. I explain, or you can text, send a message down below. I explain it a little bit, but you can check more videos on noun classes. You can comment, I continue explaining it and I give you notes on it, because noun class are very important. So here we have mguu. Mguu upi. Mguu upi. You cannot say mguu kipi. mguu upi. And as I said, that one will come as a result of you listening to a lot of Swahili, reading, speaking. Speaking is not that much. Like it doesn't help that much in the beginning because you need to comprehend before you start speaking. So when you understand why these things are the way they are, you will speak easily. Like you will be free to speak. So, listening, writing, reading, so that you can get familiar with the language will give you the rhythm of the language. And the rhythm doesn't need grammar most of the time, but grammar is important. You need grammar to know how things function correctly, but it is by the way. That is for me, because rhythm is very important, especially in Swahili. For example, here, you cannot say mguu upi, but I'm sorry, you cannot say mguu kipi, but you can say mguu upi. So what is the basis of that? Because of the noun class. Why did we choose the noun class? Because of the rhythm. Okay, so it is dropping down to the rhythm. So if you know the rhythm, the better for you. Mguu upi umevunjika, miguu ipi imevunjika. Which leg has broken? Which legs have broken? Mguu upi, miguu ipi. Then the other noun class, ji, ma, or the lia noun class. My favorite noun class because it is very, very, very easy. Ji, ma, or lia noun class. Why is it easy? Because the singular, in the singular, you cannot identify a noun of the jima or lia noun class easily. But when you go to the plural, it must have a ma. That's the rule. Any noun in the lia plural must have a ma. So when you see any noun having a ma in the plural, just know that is, let's say, 99% jima noun class. You can try by forming a sentence and see if it is rhyming. If the rhythm is there, it is a jima noun class. For example, gari, magari. Tunda, matunda. You see, gari is starting with a G. So you cannot identify if this noun is in the jima or kivi, or you cannot identify. But when you say magari, you can see this noun has a ma in the plural. So it can be in the lia noun class. And then when you go to tunda, it is starting with a T. You cannot identify. But if you go to the plural, matunda, you'll know this is a lia noun class. This is a lia noun class. So, gari lipi, magari yapi or yepi. Yapi is most used in Kenya, yepi in Tanzania. But saying that doesn't mean that yepi cannot be used in Kenya. There are some people who use yepi in Kenya. There are some people who still use yapi in Tanzania. So it just depends with the region. Inategemea na mahali ambapo mtu anaishi ama mahali ambapo mtu alilelewa, where the person was brought up. Okay? Then the other noun class is the noun class. Before we go on, Daniel, una swali lolote?
Ndio, nimekuwa subiri. Sasa nataka kuuliza swali. Okay. Tunaweza kutumia gani badala ya haya maneno yote? In other words,
Nipatie mfano.
Oh, okay. Unataka kuendesha gari lipi au unataka kuendesha gari gani?
Unataka kuendesha gari lipi? Unataka kuendesha gari gani? Ndiyo, unaweza kutumia gani. You can use gani. Unataka kuendesha gari gani. But if you say lipi, gari lipi, you are being more specific. Yes, so that is the main difference. But you can use gani. When you are saying gani, it is like general. Unataka kuendesha gari gani. Kwa mfano, Acha nikupe mfano. Let's say we have a little boy, and then you are asking, ukiwa mkubwa unataka kuendesha gari gani, or gari la aina gani, gari gani? When you grow up, what kind of car do you want to drive? Unataka kuendesha gari gani? So the child can ask, maybe can say Lamborghini or something. Yeah, those types of vehicles. Maybe the child can say Lamborghini, and then you say Lamborghini EP. That one means which, like, let's say in that situation, it means you already have the Lamborghini. So you are asking, which one among the ones we have do you want to drive when you grow up? Lamborghini EP.
So would it be correct to say that when we use one of these forms of P that's corresponding to the proper Ngeli, we're selecting from a smaller set of of objects? When we say Gani, it's more of a more general question of which type or which kind, which one?
True. Gani is general.
Okay.
Yes. And
Asante
then
sana.
Karibu. P is very, very specific. Asante sana kwa swali lako. Kama mtu mwingine ana swali, andika hapo chini, alafu tutakujibu mimi na Danieli. Si ndio, Daniel? You're going to help me answer.
Ndio. Nitakusaidia.
Okay. Sawa. I'm glad that was clear, that you have understood something at least from this lesson. Okay, now let's go to the noun class. This noun class is considered to not having a plural. The nouns themselves are considered to not having a plural, but when you're using a demonstrative or the interrogative P suffix, you have to show that it is in singular or it is in plural. An example, let's take the noun nyumba. Nyumba is a house. Nyumba is a house. So, umoja wa nyumba ni nyumba na wingi wa nyumba ni nyumba. The singular of nyumba is nyumba and the plural of nyumba is nyumba. How do you know if it is houses, and how do you know if it is house? You will know because of the demonstrative or the word that follows nyumba. Okay, so for example, when you're using a demonstrative, you'll say nyumba hii, nyumba hizi. This house, these houses. But when you are using the P interrogative suffix, you are going to say nyumba ipi, nyumba zipi. So this noun class is also called the EZ noun class. IZ, EZ noun class. So in the singular, you just take I plus P, EP. In the plural, you take Z plus P to make it zipi. Nyumba ipi inabomolewa. Nyumba ipi inabomolewa. Which house is being demolished? So you see there, Dan, you can say nyumba gani inabomolewa. That one means maybe it is a general thing. Nyumba gani. But after you have known the gani, you are going to say nyumba ipi. Maybe they are telling you, you are asking nyumba gani inabomolewa, and they tell you hizi nyumba zenye ziko hapa zinabomolewa. Hizi nyumba zenye ziko mtaa wa bidii zinabomolewa. This house that are in the mtaa wa bidii, not mtaa, bidii street, mtaa is a street or a neighborhood. So these houses that are in BD street or neighborhood are the ones that are being demolished. And then you ask, EP, ni nyumba ipi? Which one specifically is being demolished? Yeah. Okay. Yes, exactly. So nyumba gani inabomolewa? they answer. But if you ask nyumba ipi, they are going to know maybe you need some clarifications or you need some explanations. Then apart from the easy noun class, we have another noun class called the uzi. Remember, I have said the easy noun class is the same as the noun class, meaning the nouns don't have a plural. Like you cannot say nyumba manyumba. You cannot say nyumba. It is nyumba nyumba. You'll only differentiate its singular word that is following. If it is a demonstrative, an interrogative, you are going to know from there. But you cannot change the noun. Nyumba nyumba. Then we have the uzi noun class. Uzi noun class. So uzi, I usually use it with the word uzi because it is very easy with it. So uzi noun class has the majority of the nouns in uzi noun class start with u. Very simple. The majority starts with u, and the in the singular, and the plural, the u is lost and it remains the way it is, or sometimes it becomes an irregular plural. For example, if we take and, just note, because there are other nouns that are starting with u but they are not in this noun class, because those ones are ideologies, other noun class that are not in this noun class. The ones that we have in this noun class are tangible things. For example, uzi, it is starting with u and it is tangible. Uzi is a thread. It is tangible, starting with u. The plural is irregular, which becomes nyuzi. Uzi, nyuzi. But we have few nouns that are irregular in this class in the plural. So I think you can get them as you continue soaking yourself in Swahili. But uzi, nyuzi. But the example that I have used here is ukuta. Ukuta is a wall. It is tangible and it is starting with u. Tangible and starting with u. Ukuta becomes kuta. Ukuta, kuta. Ukuta umebomoka, kuta zimebomoka. Ukuta umebomoka, kuta zimebomoka. A wall is cracked, walls are cracked. Okay, ukuta umebomoka, kuta zimebomoka. And then, since it is an u-z noun class, u plus p and z plus p, ukuta upi, kuta zipi. Ukuta upi, kuta zipi. Yeah? Ukuta upi, kuta zipi. You cannot say ukuta kipi. Ukuta kipi. Like, it doesn't rhyme. It doesn't rhyme. That's, again, I go back to soaking yourself to in Swahili so that you know the rhythm instead of knowing the grammar, you don't know the rhythm. Knowing the rhythm is much more important, though grammar is also important. Swali lolote hapo?
Hapana, nimekuelewa vizuri.
Hauna swali lolote hapo? I can see from context. Kuna mtu ambaye ame nini kitu. From language sensei, unamaanisha nini? What do you mean? Language sensei. Language sensei has commented something. Maybe she has a question. She just said from context, but I don't understand. Unamaanisha, no, let me write in English. What do you mean? You can tell us and then we are going to help you. Okay. Right now, let's go to the next noun class. The next noun class is u. U is the other noun class that has nouns beginning with u. U singular, u plural. But nouns in this class are not tangible. they are ideologies. Unlike the uzi, nouns are tangible. Ukuta, it is something you can touch. You can touch a wall. But when you say uchovu, for instance, the noun class, you cannot touch. You cannot touch tiredness. Ukweli, you cannot touch the truth. Uongo, you cannot touch a false ideology or something. So here we have things that are not tangible and they're starting with u. They are starting with o. And the simple thing here is you just take the u plus p to make the interrogative with p. So uchovu upi, uchovu upi, or you can say uzuri upi. Uzuri upi unakupendeza. Uzuri upi unakupendeza. Ama unaweza sema usafi upi ni sawa. Usafi upi, because you cannot touch usafi. Cleanliness you cannot touch. Okay, language sensei has said something, wanted to say you will know whether it's a house or houses from the context, like yes, true. Ukweli. Kama mtu yote ana swali, tafadhali andika hapo chini ndio tuweze kuongea kuhusu hilo swali tukiendelea kusoma. If anyone has a question, please write down. You can comment down in the section for comments so that we can continue. We can answer the question as we continue. Okay. Swali lolote kuhusu upi,
Connie,
upi.
Because the noun class represents abstract concepts, would it be very unusual to ask the question upi with regards to an abstract context? Why would we ever ask which truth, which love, which, age? I mean, these are things that I can't see how the question would. Grammatically, I understand upi would be the correct form of p to use, but the concepts don't lend well to having multiples. So would anybody really ever ask?
Yes, ukweli upi. Yes. Yeah, so that's where Swahili gets strange. That's where Swahili gets strange from other languages, because there are some, like the Swahili people like to narrow, I don't know how to explain, but they like to narrow things down. For example, you can say ukweli gani. Ukweli gani ni sawa. Like which truth is okay. Ukweli gani ni sawa. Or usafi gani unafaa. But you can also say ukweli upi, like to want a specific answer. Ukweli upi. But also gani works. It works. Though upi is just there to specify.
Okay.
Yes. But I think I can also sense, that's where Swahili is getting strange for many people, because there are some things that they are not in another language, or maybe you have not heard of them before, or maybe they don't make sense. They don't make sense. There are some things that don't make sense, but that is how Swahili is. That is how the culture is. You can say ukweli upi. Yeah? To just want to be specific on something instead of ukweli gani. Gani is very general.
Yes. So kwa mfano, nitatumia upendo badala ya instead of truth, badala ya ukweli. Mtu anaweza kusema upendo ni vizuri, rafiki yake anaweza kuuliza upendo upi? Uh, upendo kati ya mama na mtoto, au upendo kati ya mke na uh, maume. So this would be an opportunity to use which love,
Yeah.
gani, or upendo upi. I'm trying to give an example here so that I can make sense of
Yes.
this in my own head.
I'm getting it. It is quite a nice example.
Okay.
Upendo upi? Yeah. Mtu akikuuliza upendo gani unafaa, au upendo upi, I don't know, upendo upi ni mzuri katika familia, upendo baina ya mme na mke, upendo baina ya mama na watoto, au upendo baina ya baba na watoto. So you see, we have different upendo. Yeah, that is good. That was a nice example.
So upendo upi ni vizuri zaidi. Which one is better?
Ndio,
Yeah.
upendo upi ni mzuri zaidi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Upendo upi ni uzuri?
Mzuri.
Mzuri.
Yes.
Okay.
Upendo upi ni mzuri zaidi. Yeah, that's
Okay.
nice, very nice. Then we go to the ku. I want to make something clear first. We have pa, kumu. So ku can be used as locational, and ku is also it can also be used as an infinitive and as a gerund marker. Let's start with the locational. When you talk about ku, let's say huko kuna tisha, not kuko, sorry. Huko kuna tisha. So that means it is a general place. It is a general place. Huko kuna tisha. You might be meaning, you have not said the specific place, but you're just saying there. It is scary there. You are not saying the exact place. You are not specifying. Huko kuna tisha. That is when you are using it as a place, a location. You can use it as an infinitive. Kucheza, kuimba, kuandika, kusoma, kuomba. Those are all infinitives and they must have a ku. You can also use ku as a gerund. For example, kuandika, kusoma, kuimba. So that one means reading, kusoma, reading, kuandika, writing. It doesn't mean to write. To write is an infinitive. Reading is gerund. For example, kusoma kwake kunapendeza. Kusoma kwake kunapendeza. That one can mean her style of reading is amazing, or the way she reads is amazing, or her reading is amazing. That means it is a gerund, kusoma. So there are three ways you can use ku. And the interrogative suffix p, you will say kupi, because a gerund doesn't have a plural, an infinitive doesn't have a plural, and so does a place. It doesn't have a plural. So it is kupi, kupi. Ku plus p. Kusoma kupi ni kuzuri. Kusoma kupi ni kuzuri. Kuandika kupi kunapendeza. Kuandika kupi kunapendeza. Yeah? So you use ku plus p. Kupi, kupi, kupi. Mahali kupi kuna vitu vizuri. Kupi kuna vitu vizuri. So that one you are talking about a place. A place, an infinitive or a gerund, you use kupi, because the ku touches the three of them. It is not for a place alone, or for a gerund alone, or for an infinitive alone. It touches the three of them. Then we have pa. Pa. I talked about pa, ku, mu, allocational. I started with ku because I wanted to clear the three kus that we have. Then we have pa, which is allocational prefix, and it shows a specific place. A specific place. Someone was asking me, we were talking about the pa, ku, mu noun class, and he asked me, why is it that if pa is used in locations when someone is answering a greeting, for example, unaendeleaje or ukoje, they are going to say nipo sawa. What does that mean? Or niko sawa, nipo sawa or niko sawa. So someone was asking, what does that mean? Are they asking about the location? What do they mean exactly? So I realize truly, since we usually tell people pa kumu is for locations, and let's say if you greet someone from Tanzania, ukoje, they're going to say nipo sawa. Most of them, but not all of them. As I said, it is because of the location. Someone in Kenya can use nipo or niko. Someone in Tanzania can use nipo or niko. So it's because of the location. So when you ask someone in Tanzania, ukoje, most of the time they're going to say nipo sawa. And when you ask someone in Kenya, they're going to say niko sawa. So why? Okay, what I told the person, it is because those things are not based on locations, like the answering of a greeting. They are not based on location, but it is just a preference. Tanzania see po as Tanzania or some other people, because it can also be Kenya, they see po as the best way to go, or they prefer it. And then Kenya prefer ko, or other people prefer ko. There are those who prefer po, there are those who prefer ko. Niko sawa, nipo sawa. So that is how I responded, and I told the person, don't take everything seriously, like you want to know. It's like you are learning a language like rocket science. You want to know why this is like this, why this is like this. Some things in a language, they are just the way they are because the Swahili speakers or the language speakers invented them before. They just invented them because maybe of the rhythm, maybe because of the culture. It has many different things of why something is the way it is. Okay. Now pa shows a specific place. For example, when I say hapa, I mean here. Hapa, I mean here, a specific place. Hapa ni pazuri. This place is nice. This specific place is nice. But pa also has papi and pepi. Papi, pepi. As you can know, the difference is regional, either Kenya or Tanzania, Kenya, or how someone prefers. The difference is regional. Mahali papi pananuka. Mahali papi or mahali pepi pananuka. Which place is smelling? Which place is smelling? So you are using, and something else, when you're using pa, you can say mahali or pahali. You can say mahali papi pananuka or pahali papi pananuka. But on the other ku and mu, you can never use pa. You can never say pahali mpi or pahali kupi. You'll only use mahali. Yeah, you are going to say mahali kupi, or you're going to say mahali kupi, but you cannot say pahali kupi. But with pa, you can say pahali papi or mahali papi. So pa can use the two, but the others cannot use pa. They cannot say pahali. Okay, so you can say pahali papi pananuka or pahali pepi pananuka. Then going to mu. Mu is usually associated with inside something. Inside something. Mle ndani mna nyoka. Mle ndani mna nyoka. Inside there is a snake. Mle ndani mna nyoka. And when you are talking about it is specific because you are talking about a certain place inside. So it is quite or very specific. Mle ndani mnanuka, or shimoni mna wadudu wengi. Shimoni mna wadudu wengi. Getting to that, let me talk about the prepositional suffix ni for a bit. So ni is used to show a location. Shimoni at the hole, because shimo is a hole. Shuleni at school. Nyumbani at home. The difference between nyumbani and nyumba. Nyumba is a house. Nyumbani is at home. When you say nyumbani, it sounds like it is a home. Twende nyumbani. Nyumbani can mean at the house or a home. The way you say in English you can say at the house, at home, but in Swahili we only have one word which can mean at the house or at home. It is nyumbani. Nyumbani. That's why people say nyumbani ni nyumbani. Home is home. It doesn't mean at home is at home is at home. It means home is home. Nyumbani. So this one you are going to use p. Plus p. Plus p. Shimoni mpi mna wadudu wengi. Shimoni mpi mna wadudu wengi. Shimoni mpi mna wadudu wengi. But when you want to use p here, you must use ni. Shimoni. Because you cannot say shimo mpi mna wadudu wengi, sorry. You cannot say shimo mpi. You need to say shimoni mpi. Because you want to show that it is inside. You want to show that it is inside. Shimoni mpi mna wadudu wengi. But see this one. Shimo mpi mna wadudu wengi. There is no rhythm. So it cannot go like that. It has to have the ni. And ni is a prepositional suffix. It is just showing that this word has a preposition. It is not just a whole. It is at the whole, in the whole. Yeah, it has a preposition in it. And something interesting is that I'm going to also help you learn on the prepositional verbs later during these lives. But right now we are dealing with the interrogative suffix p. So reaching there, Daniel, una swali gani kwa pa kumu especially?
Hapana, sina swali kuhusu pa kumu.
Na una swali gani ambalo aliko katika pa kumu?
Hapana.
Aha. Sensei, language sensei anasema when we say ukweli upi, can that mean that we suspect Yeah, that is true. It is because when you're using p or upi, you want to know a specific information. You want to know something specific. So maybe if someone is telling you the truth and you are asking them ukweli upi, that means you think they are lying, or maybe they are lying and you want them to tell you the truth. So if someone is telling you jana nilienda shereheni, I went for a party yesterday, and you are like, mbona ulienda shereheni jana na haukuniambia? And then maybe your friends, why did you go to a party yesterday and you didn't tell me? Then your friend says, hapana, hiyo saa nilienda hospitalini, sikuenda shereheni. So again they change. No, at that time I went to the hospital, I didn't go to the party. Then you can ask them, ni ukweli upi? Ukweli upi ndio sawa ama una ukweli upi? Because you are saying this, why? Which is the truth? So you can ask someone if you're suspecting they are lying. That is true. Divine Allah, karibu sana, karibu sana. Sasa ni wakati wa, kama una swali unaweza kuniuliza ili tumalizane na hii live yetu ya leo, tufanye live yetu ya kesho ambayo itakuwa na live yetu ya kesho itakuwa ni mazungumzo. Kesho tutafanya mazungumzo ambayo yatakuwa na interrogative suffix P. Tomorrow we are going to do a conversation between two people that is going to have the interrogative P. So apart from learning or acquiring the interrogative P in the conversation, we are going to see what those people are talking about. We are going to learn some other words in that conversation. And I'm so happy for that conversation. And I hope and I know you are going to learn something new from that conversation because of the P. If you have understood this video about P, when we go to that conversation, try to see the P's that are in there. For example, if you have kipi, lipi, try to see and try to relate it with this video and see if you can see something new, or if you don't understand, just ask a question, uliza swali lolote. Sawa sawa.
Connie, there is one other word that I encounter often that begins that ends with P, has P as a suffix, and I'm wondering if you would touch on this briefly so that the collection of P words is complete, and that's ngapi. Ngapi. Ngapi, how many, right? Yeah, I mean, I know that it's not quite in the same category as these others, but yet if people out there who are watching your video encounter ngapi, they may be confused as to, how that fits in with these others.
Ngapi. So what you need to understand first is that the interrogative P is far different from the 5 question words that we have in Swahili. And apart from the 5 question words that we have in Swahili, nani, nini, lini, kwa nini, wapi, we also have ngapi, which means how many. And ngapi is not among the Swahili interrogative, it is not in the Swahili interrogative P suffix, because when you go to the table, for example, that I have sent you, the interrogative suffix go according to the noun class, and we don't have a noun class that is starting with nga. That is the first thing. We don't have a noun class that is starting with nga, because how is the interrogative P, words with the interrogative P formed? We take the first part of the noun class, for example, ki, and then we add P, kipi, or we can say lipi. An exception is the our noun class most of the time, because it is using the demonstrative up, wapi, because of who, you, and how. But the other ones, they are using the noun class. For example, Lia, the Lia noun class, will say garilipi. So we don't have a noun class that is starting with nga. So ngapi does not qualify as with an interrogative P suffix. It just means how much or how many. Did I answer?
Sure, yeah. I just thought that it was a good idea to bring that up since it's another P word, even though it's in a different category.
Oh, okay. Okay, I have another guest here, but they're saying the device is not connected. Ania. Actually, we are about to finish the live for today. If you like to read the conversation for tomorrow, mazungumzo, because you are going to have 2 people, you can comment down below, or you can tell me via WhatsApp, or you can comment to the video here. If you want to read, I will read, then you read the other part, or if you are the two of you are going to read, then we are going to discuss in detail. If you are interested, just tell me, and then I will send you the script before we come, so that you don't get anxious. I know that when you are reading something for the first time, especially if it's a new language, it is, and if you are having a native, it is not that easy. So I know that. If you are interested, just tell me, then I'm going to send you the script for you to read before we start the mazungumzo or conversation tomorrow. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining. Asanteni sana, na natumai mmejifunza vitu ambavyo hamkuwa mnajua. I said I would speak in Swahili a lot, but I think I've spoken in English in English so much because I'm used to speaking most of the time when I give people a lesson, but I try as much as possible to speak in Swahili, especially if you have advanced a bit, because I know it is important. It is important for you to listen in Swahili. So if I'm using English all the time, that will be quite selfish, and it might not be good for you in the long run. Asanteni sana and asanteni sana, nashukuru na muwe na siku njema. Kwaheri.
Kwaheri.